Welcome back to 5 Acres Honey Farm. I'm Tara Lynn, and since my last video, I have gotten a haircut, so there is a little something different if you were wondering what looks a little different. I just got an order of Goldenseal rhizomes, and I have been, trying to add kind of a diversity of plants around our property over the past few years, and I'm also trying to kind of protect some species that are native to the area, but that are also highly medicinal and that aren't really mainstream. So I decided to order some Goldenseal rhizomes to place out here. And if you're not familiar with Goldenseal, and Goldenseal is considered an herbal antibiotic, so it does have some antibiotic properties. And I figured it's a good plant to have around just in case. For example, a few years ago, we had a kind of a crazy guinea hen, and the guinea hen just decided one day that it really wanted to kill one of our younger hens and brutally beat it up and would just not stop. So we had to separate them, and so the hen that was hurt, I used yarrow, lavender, comfrey, and aloe in creating a poultice and getting the wound cleaned up, and it cleaned much faster than I've seen any other chicken injury heal up. So I'm trying to use what we have here that's available. So I figured adding Goldenseal is something that we might end up using at some point. But it's also just something great to be able to cultivate and protect. And one of the things that I read about from the vendor that I purchased the rhizomes from, so I purchased them from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange, and I'll include a link in the description. And I like to order from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange because they have varieties that grow really well in the South, and that's where I am. So I typically will look there first, or I'll look at Sow True Seed, another great southern supplier. And if I don't find the varieties that I'm looking for, then I'll look elsewhere. But I just know that they are saving seed from generations of plants and saving rhizomes, like the Goldenseal, from generations of plants that have already grown well in this region and in this climate. So the Goldenseal, since it is harvested for its roots, the way that it's propagated is through its rhizomes. So I didn't get any seeds for Goldenseal. I got these rhizomes, and Southern Exposure Seed Exchange sent kind of a little pamphlet explaining a little bit about the growing conditions that are ideal for Goldenseal. So generally having 60 to 80% shade, so in a woodland area, is ideal. So not direct sun, and also not fully shaded. And what I thought was most helpful was that they included a list of different plants that you can look for that may already be in your landscape, and you can plant your Goldenseal near those plants because they favor similar conditions. And those plants are mayapple, trillium, bloodroot, and black cohosh. And I have just noticed, we've been on this property for 8 years, almost 9, and there's already an established area of black cohosh, and I figured, well, if this is what they're recommending, then I'll just plant a few over there. I'm also going to plant some at my other apiary in Western North Carolina. And Southern Exposure Seed Exchange also describes some ideal conditions. So if you don't find those other plants in your landscape, you can try and plant them beneath a hardwood canopy. And you would be looking for, some of the native poplar and basswood and hickory. And so that's where I planted. It was also near the black cohosh here, but it's also in the shade of poplar and hickory. And I didn't see any basswood, but there's some ironwood out there, but that was not listed in the list of recommended trees. But what I'm going to do at the other apiary is I'm going to plant it in a heavily hardwood wooded area. The other recommendation is that you shouldn't plant it in a place where there's nothing growing at all. That means there's just too much shade. So you want to see at least some plants in that undergrowth too. I just moved some leaves aside and found a little worm friend, which is great to see. So I'm going to let him hang out there. And here, this like dead plant is actually the black cohosh, and there's a few in here too. And I just planted one of the other rhizomes over there. I'm going to set up the rhizome to go in here. And let me get it out of the bag. You know, there's just 5 in this bag, so I'm going to do a few here and a few at the other apiary, but just using some, you know, after seeing some videos, just kind of planting this here, and then I'll be making sure kind of like there's a good root spread, getting the soil on it, and then once I've got the soil on, I'm going to make sure to put the leaves back on top to keep it insulated for the winter. But of course, I do have my watering can here, so I'll do that too. Fairly simple planting process, and I am watering it now, but there is rain in the forecast in the next few days, and it's supposed to rain a lot. So that's something else to look for when you're about to plant these, is that you've got some good precipitation in the forecast. Please let me know if you are growing Goldenseal and if you have any recommendations for how to care for it and how to propagate it. And it will likely be a handful of years before I will harvest any. Typically, you want to wait 5 to 10 years, somewhere in that range, before you harvest any of the rhizomes to allow it time to spread so that you can continue harvesting from it in the future. So please let me know. This is a completely new plant to me, and I'd love to hear your tips. Please let me know in the comments, and if you'd like some updates on this and creating some herbal tinctures and cooking with herbs and all different kind of foraged ingredients, please like this and subscribe, and have some more videos soon.